Hello again, welcome back to the marketplace. Now, some banks and currency dealers say they are optimistic the cedi's stability would be realized sooner than earlier projected. The Bank of Ghana recently predicted the local currency should stabilize against the dollar from next month. But would this help deal with the panic reactions from businesses? We have more in this report.
Some of the commercial banks say the improved supply has helped them meet the demands of customers. For instance, one of the big banks in the country says it used to get just a fraction of dollars from the Bank of Ghana, but it is now getting almost half of their daily request. However, we understand that most of the supply is going to big corporate clients of these banks. The Bank of Ghana is also vetting the request of the banks in the way that will ensure that supply actually goes to firms that are demanding it for business purposes. It is believed that the latest move could help fast-track the city's stability and also deal with situations where financing for imports of some businesses are being delayed because of this development. According to the central bank, they have released more than $200 million to help support the city this month. Some analysts have argued that this approach is not sustainable, but the Bank of Ghana has maintained that this is a short-term strategy to help stabilize the local currency while they deal with the structural issues.
The Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, has called on the government to begin working on developing a regulation to guide onshore exploration activities in the country. Director of Sustainability and External Affairs at the GNPC, Kwame Ba Nyako, spoke on behalf of the Chief Executive of the company at the ongoing Ghana Industrial Summit and Exhibition by the Association of Ghana Industries. He disclosed that seismic surveys for oil exploration in the Voltairean Basin is about 70% complete, making it imperative for needed regulatory frameworks.
We're also looking to utilize the opportunities offered by the onshore activities that we are currently engaging. As some of you might know, I mentioned it last year at this platform. The onshore Voltairean Basin survey is currently underway. We are very much into about 70% of the work is done. Some analysis have been done. It's not my duty to suggest that it holds a lot of potential, but it actually does hold a lot of potential. The signs are very good, and I'm sure, Your Excellency, maybe this is the time for us to start thinking about legislation relating to onshore production activities, because almost everything we have now relates to offshore activities, but the onshore activities has its own potentials and its own challenges. The potential being that the lower capital requirements affords a lot more Ghanaians the opportunity to be part of this industry. But then it also has its environmental challenges, and so I think this is the time when we have not said we've discovered anything. It's at this stage that we should be thinking about the legislation, so that when His Excellency and the President announce finally that it looks like we have oil onshore, we already have the legislation that protects the activities and ensures that Ghanaians do get a larger benefit as against what is happening offshore because of the huge capital requirements. So I just wanted to bring this up for probably further discussion during the open sessions.
The Ghana Maritime Authority says it will establish an integrated security plan to help improve its contributions to the economy. The plan, known as the National Integrated Maritime Strategy, seeks to provide a clearer approach to maritime issues with increased coordination between different policy areas. Deputy Director of Maritime Security at the Ghana Maritime Authority, Captain Emmanuel Ankama, retired, revealed this to Joy Business at the Security Governance Initiative Steering Committee meeting held in Accra.
We have a document for the SGI called the Joint Country Action Plan, which is a document brought together by the two sides, the United States and Ghana, that indicated some objectives for the various focal areas. And for the focal area of maritime security, the JCAP identified the end state for the maritime focal area as the preparation and implementation of an integrated maritime strategy for Ghana. To get to this point, there are a lot of other, targets that we will need to meet along the line. Like what I talked about, the whole of government collaboration framework, and implementation plans and a whole lot of other things. So the strategy, is meant to, as I've already said, bring the country at a place where we will be able to harness all the benefits. We are looking forward to completing everything by June next year, with the details along the line as indicated in my presentation. We expect to have the drafts by the end of December. When we get a plan, I think the next thing to do is to align the plan with national budget.
It's all live on the marketplace. Now, the Ministry of Business Development has signed an agreement with the Chamber Institute for Business Creation and Development to come up with a training program to promote and support entrepreneurship. The 30 million CD agreement will see young and budding entrepreneurs engage in exchange programs in Spain from March 2019. Let's hear from the Sector Minister, Mohamed Awal.
Permanent long-term relationship we have with Spain. It's a long-term program to build young people who are confident and capable to send Ghana beyond aid. That's what we intend to do. We will train trainer of trainers, which would finish, and the trainer of trainers will now go over to the regions and train everybody. It's trainer of trainers first, beyond which the trainer of trainers will now be capable to train. They'll give us course material, they will give us, and they will be also exchange. Research has shown that about 75% of businesses do not go beyond 5 years. They collapse in Ghana. We want to reverse that trend. And the training they're going to help us with is not just meant for only existing, also startups. We have programs here in the ministry that support startups. So mentoring, he mentioned it, mentoring is an important part of business. Training of trainers, yes. Coaching. These are very important. So we really don't give you the skills, the capital, we also mentor you to succeed. The business school, that's why they are here. They have long history of coaching, training, and monitoring. So it's a partnership between us, the embassy, and this CASA and Exxon, our embassy in Spain, and then the University of Ghana Business School. So they will do monitoring alongside the ministry, making sure that there's a monthly quarter reporting to ensure that what our plan has been planned is well executed.
Now, finalists of the 2018 Cosmos Innovation Center Agritech Challenge have less than a month to prepare for their final pitches ahead of October 11th deadline to present their final pitch. What will be the reward for the final winner and what should be expected on the final day? The following report has more.
It's been 9 months of dedication, hard work and team spirit from the Agri-Techies. Participants have benefited from training activities, including 20 workshops, 2 group market research tours, and an individual team-led market research activity to help them refine their minimum viable product. Soon, their efforts will be crowned as they make it to the finals come October 11.
You as young people, when I hear about 84,000 young graduates going to look for 500 jobs at immigration, I think, what are we doing? Because really, when I leave this place, do you see my car there? Would you believe I've been putting plants in soil and here? Would you think that? No. And then I'll go to the university and go and teach. So it's not I like vernacular, but in Ghana we say ajomoda ajemo to mo pa. You know, if somebody insults you, do you think it would?
On October 11, the 8 final teams in the Cosmos Innovation Center 2018 Agritech Challenge will pitch to judges for final selection. The winning team, selected from over 500 applicants and over 100 initial program participants, will receive $50,000 seed funding to start their business. The final teams are Growth Factor, Tech Shelter, Profish, also known as Lojano, Soil Solution, Farm Cure, Alpha, Agrosol and Quidex. As this marks the completion for the 2018 cohorts, it gives hope to another batch of young enthusiasts who will be selected through an open application up to the 11th of November.
You're live on the marketplace, coming to you live on Joy News. And the Global Women's Professional and Business Exchange Conference comes off in Accra between October 4 and 8 this year. The program will bring together many business and professional women from all over the world to leverage their experiences in business, finance, and legal, among others. It is organized by the U.S.-Ghana Chamber of Commerce and is being partnered by Joy Business. President of the U.S.-Ghana Chamber of Commerce, Florence Thorson, joins us on phone lines now from Philadelphia in the United States of America to tell us more about the upcoming conference. Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the marketplace.
Oh, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, now tell us more about this conference that's coming up next month.
Well, so basically, the U.S.-Ghana Chamber of Commerce is in the business of increasing business opportunities for investors both in Ghana and in the United States. So the conference is part of what we're trying to do. So for the conference, we are actually concentrating on this. We want women to do more business with each other. And so what we are trying to do is to bring professional and business women from the United States and all around the world who are interested in doing business with their Ghanaian counterparts. You know that now the world is getting global, and if you want to be successful, you have to think beyond the borders of Ghana or the United States. So that is what we are trying to do, bringing these professional and business women to Ghana to connect with their Ghanaian counterparts and take their careers and businesses to the next level.
Now, so who are some of the key speakers we are expecting, and what are some of the topical areas they would be highlighting?
Yeah, so we have people who are professional women, and then we have the businesses, right? So the 5 areas that we have chosen to concentrate on for this conference are healthcare, the business of healthcare. We also want to look at law, legal. Okay. We also want to take a look at business, finance, and education. So some of the speakers that we are bringing, for example, we are bringing Dr. Adrian Booth, who is a former executive at Coca-Cola in the United States and a business strategist. He's going to tell us how to take our businesses to the next level. We also have Commissioner Belinda Handy, who is a Superior Court judge in California. So she will be handling some of the legal discussions. We also have Roberta Torian, who is a partner at Reed Smith, which is one of the top business law firms in the United States. So she's also coming to share her experiences and also to learn from Ghanaians. We have a lady called Cindy Terrier, who is a Ghanaian lady who is doing phenomenal in the United States. Okay. She has a natural hair care line, and she's in 6,000 stores in the United States. This is a Ghanaian woman. And so we are also bringing her in to share her experiences. She's also looking to partner and do more business in Ghana. Yeah. We have
all right, so that was Florence Hart from Philadelphia. She's the president of the U.S.-Ghana Chamber of Commerce, and she's been outlining the highlights of the event. That's a Global Professional Business Exchange Conference coming up next month in Accra. Away from that, acting Vice Chancellor of the Kumasi Technical University, Professor Mike Agbesia Champong, says Ghana's widening skills gap is responsible for high graduate unemployment rate, which threatens the country's socio-economic development. The acting Vice Chancellor says government must take urgent steps to address the challenge. He was speaking at the launch of the zonal and national skills competition in Kumasi.
The World Skills Competition is an international event for people of 25 years and below to compete in various artisanal trades and skill categories. Southern Zone comprises Greater Accra, Volta, Central, Eastern regions, while Ashanti, Brahafo and the 3 Northern regions make up the Northern Zone. The competitions will run concurrently from 18th to 21st September 2018 in Accra and Kumasi. German International Development Corporation, GIZ, European Union, Council for Technical Education and Training, and Kumasi Technical University are collaborating. Northern Zone Chairman of the Local Organizing Committee, Reverend Dr. Timothy Crensel, expects the program to inspire world-class skills excellence for the youth.
The selection of contestants for the competition was based on very basic criteria. You first should be a Ghanaian, and secondly, you should be between the ages of 15 and 24 years old. In this zone, the Northern Zone, we have nearly 2,000 contestants competing in 11 skill areas.
According to a World Bank report, 48% of Ghana's youth of between 15 and 24 years are jobless. The population in the age bracket will certainly be higher in the next decade amid concerns about the country's capacity to create jobs. Government is therefore embarking on education sector reforms with emphasis on technical and vocational training, TVET. Technical universities as well as second cycle technical and vocational education training institutions will serve as vehicles for youth skills development. Professor Champon calls for overhaul of education and training courses to meet labor market needs.
The high rate of unemployment or graduate unemployment in the country is not necessarily as a result of lack of jobs. Sometimes it's as a result of finding the required skill to occupy or to access the available jobs. Consequently, there is an urgent need to address the skill gap to guarantee sustainable economic development of the country.
Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah entreated the youth to be abreast of and take advantage of government policies and programs. He hinted of collaboration with trade unions for establishing database of trained apprentices and artisans for formation of apprentice recruitment agency.
The government has carefully drawn out a program for skills development to prepare our youth to take up the mantle of leadership in the country. The government will, among others, establish apprenticeship and skill development centers to train school leaders for specific industrial sectors.
Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Deb.
Still staying in Kumasi, city authorities are to begin the verification and validation of traders at the Ketia market on Wednesday. The move is to pave way for the redevelopment of the market and to ensure affected traders get what is due them. The Ketia market, which previously had a little over 400 units of stalls, will now accommodate over 1,000 traders after the redevelopment exercise. City Major Osei Bientwi has hinted the project will be handed over to the KMA for onward distribution of the shops. Prince Apia has more in this report.
Director Yvonne.
The Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly has set up an 11-member committee to oversee the process of verification and validation of traders who once were trading at the Kejetia bus terminal. The move follows a hint by KMA officials that the distribution of shops at the Kejetia terminal and market will be done anytime soon. City Mayor Osei Bientwi says traders who were moved to Adeshe and Achemfo markets will be served first. He spoke to the media after a sensitization program with traders at the Kejetia market.
Verification validation exercise is going to establish the real owners of the people who were at Kejetia. And in prioritization, those at Kejetia who were relocated to Achemfo before and at this year market are the people who will be validated first. And after they have been validated and being shown where they will be moving to, then we will move to the next area, which is the central market. We will do the verification and validation and move them also to the current KGTR. And after moving them, then we will have an empty place. After having the empty place, we will then give that place to the contractor to do the demolition and start the second phase.
Committee Chair Nana Ajeni Mbwati Amoma Hene says there is no politicization of the process. He adds that this will pave way for the second phase of the KGTR Central Market Redevelopment Project.
So let's assume that there is this ex-party man who thinks he can get it now. The question is how come? Because it's a biometric registration and that has been authenticated. So even the server is not in Kumasi, let alone for one to get into that server. If you come and we assess and you check your name, for instance, I come as Nana Jenim Boateng. You can have Nana Jenim Boateng's 20, but then Nana Jenim Boateng of what telephone number? And that telephone number or prop, and that server is in Accra, will come with your picture. So even if you would have even stolen the name or you have any info as to have come, the picture before the server in the world would know that you are not the person sitting there.
Meanwhile, leadership of the KGTR traders want authorities to ensure the rightful owners of the shops get their due. Andrew Spoby, a spokesperson.
So far as we are concerned, we need our stores back, and we have been made to know that our stores will be given to us. This is all what we need. We only pray that during the validation, they must do well to avoid technicalities. We know our members, so the number of stores, in fact, they have the soft copy at their center. So we don't want a situation where everybody will be sidelined when it comes to the validation process. So we will be around to check and make sure that each and every person who has shop at KGTR before before the construction will be made to get its shop.
Prince Apia reporting.
Now you might find it amusing, but have you ever thought about breeding insects? Yes, insects for consumption. Well, not just any insect, but the palm weevil, popularly known as akokono in Akan. This week on the Joy Business Van, we bring you the story of Shobita So, who is making a living out of the insect palm weevil. Here are excerpts of the show.
In 2013, she and Mohammed Ashaw won the Holt Prize of $1 million. Their company, Aspire Foods, located at the heart of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, has brought jobs and nutrients to the people of Ghana. Research has shown that insects have a minimal impact on the environment than traditional forms of animal protein. And through Aspire, they provide malnourished people with the protein.
And we came across this really interesting phenomena that 2 billion people in the world consume insects as a part of their diet in some form. But there are major problems with insect supply and insect consumption. The first is that it's hand harvested, and so that means that it's really expensive, and you're not always sure about the safety of the product, considering that fields could be laced with pesticides and so on and so forth.
So you get a full story on Business Life this evening. Now, the Joy Western World Habitat Fair is here again. If you are looking forward to either build or buy a house, then the Habitat Fair is the place to be. You will be presented with options to find a place you may call a home. The fair takes place this week from Friday 21st of October to Sunday 23rd of September at the Providence Event Center close to the Trade Fair Center at La in Accra. The gates will be opened from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. And on that note, we draw down the curtains on this afternoon's edition of The Marketplace. Many thanks for your company. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. Yeah, you have a good afternoon.